Hello, and welcome to Reboot the World, Campus Party's first ever digital edition. We are excited to have Eric Patrick Thomas, Allan Floyd, Ann Roty, and Miles Butterfield on camera from the DMAN Foundation. They're going to give us a live tour of the first accessible music therapy recording session. Take it away, DMAN Group.
Thanks for the great introduction. Hello, Campus Party. Thank you for having us. Now imagine that you were not able to move your arms, your legs, maybe not even from the neck down, and maybe just your eyes. Do you think that you would be able to produce or record music? Well, you can. And here at the DMAN Foundation, we've made that all possible. We welcome you to the DMAN Foundation. Let me give you just a little bit of history about the DMAN Foundation. Danny, which is in this picture here, is one of the Kasab brothers. When he was 7, he was hit by a car and paralyzed from the neck down and relying on a ventilator to breathe. Several years later, due to the complications of his spinal cord injury, Danny passed away in 2009 of August. His brother, Ziad, wanted to live his legacy and came up with an idea of making a barrier-free music therapy recording studio because Danny enjoyed music, and his other brother, Kelvin, was a hip-hop artist. So he always had a great time communicating and being happy making music. Through several years of fundraising, putting a board together and a committee, the DMAN Foundation opened its doors. The DMAN Foundation stands for Danny Miracle Angel Network, in the legacy of Danny's name. Now we are right at the front door right now where you just saw that picture. And now we're walking down the hallway, and if you look to your right, over here, this is a vocal booth. Now you see that there is a step in case that you do want to record and you use a wheelchair, that can be mobile on the outside. So that way that somebody can record if somebody's in the other booths. Now if you go backwards, down here is the hall. This is what we call the All-Star Wall. If you look over to this is where a lot of music artists from the DMAN are on the wall. We have 2 walls filled with memories, great DMAN artists, volunteers, articles. And as you walk down, Miles is giving you an idea. This is one studio. In this studio, actually, I've gotten to use the equipment myself. It has the magic flute. This equipment is used with your mouth and breath. I was able to actually play Eye of the Tiger with an electric guitar with the magic flute in here. It's amazing, some of the equipment, the assistive technology that we have at this studio to allow us to give someone the opportunity to make music and produce music, and not only do that, but perform. If you walk out of here, there's going to be another vocal booth. This is the vocal booth that I use. Plenty of great times in this vocal booth. This is where the main vocal booth, if you see the window right there, that goes to the other studio. So then the engineer, they're working with us as we're in here making our music, producing the next greatest hit. And then if you walk over here, we have our meeting space. This is where we get together, we eat, we go over music ideas, we go over goals, clinical goals, we watch videos on the TV, we drink our coffee and tea. This is called meetings of the minds. This is where all the energy, the creative space really comes down, where we all work together. And then if you walk behind, Over here is the other studio. Right there is Anna, music therapist, and I see someone over there. Hi, Anna.
We got Allan Floyd here.
Hello, how are you? Oh, hello, how are you? Pardon me.
Hello, Al
I know I'm
Boogie.
not supposed to talk with my mouth full, but in the musical quadriplegic world, some of my equipment here, as you can see, requires me to. In my mouth, I have a sip and puff mouthpiece, which is basically a tube that leads into a sip and puff box. And what that allows me to do is like left click and right click with my cursor. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but also you'll notice maybe a dot on my head that should, and that with this little camera device or infrared head mouse is how I move my cursor and get in and out of the various software that we use here, not only at the DMAN Foundation, but in my home life as well. Um, this, for instance, is our Pro Tools, like any other studio, pretty much standard stuff, and that's what we have to do. We have to take the standard world and make it accessible to us. And that's a word you hear a lot: accessibility, when it comes to people that are paraplegic, quadriplegic, different. Um, we don't like to say disabilities, but different challenges in life. It is so good to have you with us today. My involvement with the D-Man goes back pretty much to its conception, and some of the ups and downs throughout being, mostly ups. We've come a long way, lots of changes, lots of developments, lots of growth, lots of therapy, lots of healing. It's the most important thing that we do here. It's amazing. It's been amazing for me. It allowed me to reconnect again with the world, to make my music and my talent that was uh, not taken from me, so to speak, in my traumatic experience, my accident, or my injuries. Um, Pardon me, I'm going to just sip of buff so you can hear me a little better. Thank you. Yeah. Um, so again, it allowed me to reconnect with the musical world, giving me a sense of usefulness again. I mean, imagine the effect on depression and mood, attitude, nothing else, getting out and about, having things to do, etc., etc., etc. This foundation has been wonderful in that aspect. Again, not just for myself, but I've seen many, many um, talented, challenged people and spirits come through this foundation over this last decade, and it's been amazing for me. And hopefully, I'll get a chance to show you a little bit later on um, what that equals, what that comes to. But right now, I really want to tell you about the equipment, the foundation, and basically tell you what we use, but what we'd like to use, what we'd like to see. You know, we need more innovation all over the board. Anything that creates comfort. It doesn't have to be a big, fancy, technologically intricate device like the things that we're using here right now. I was on Amazon or something. It's all $8, $10 neck brace that I'm going to use. That holds your phone, you know, ideas, thinking, concepts. Be in touch with the people around you, the people in this foundation, the people that you know that quite blankly suffer, you know. And again, it's what we do here: therapy, healing. We do it in a recording aspect, and because it allows us to use multiple layers, get to multiple layers of an idea of a person, and we can go back and always review our progress, and you'll see some amazing things. Again, I was not far from a tracheotomy, and was wearing a trach for a long time before I got to the DMAN. And now I am, again, doing vocals, doing engineering, doing production again, and hopefully, again, I'll get a chance to demonstrate that to you later. But innovation, and I would also have to say involvement. Um, Again, part of the therapy has been reconnecting with my friends in the social world, um, which were a lot of musicians in this case who have been very supportive of the DMAN Foundation. I want to thank Philip Hale and Gwen Fox and Mark Casa and just some amazing talent out here that has helped us keep going and that has contributed to the talent here and taught us and recorded with us and worked with us and helped us heal. And we'd like to see more involvement on a larger scale and smaller scales. Please get involved, is what we really like to see. And that means from not just the musical industry, but from all industries. What do? You make shoes, you give massages, again, anything that can create comfort and ability that we can keep doing what we've been able to do and hopefully take it to the next level. Thank you so much for your time.
Al, could you tell them a little bit more about where they might be able to see your music or where they might be able to find you online?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have been able to release two songs thus far, and these very talented people like Miles and are helping me finish an album and release it as well. But right now, I'm on Spotify and Apple and various other music formats. I will try and get something on my Facebook and Twitter to show you guys, get you some more information. But spell my name right, ALLANFLOYD, and you should be able to find a song called Sleep, which is a favorite of mine, featuring Mark Casa and Philip Hale. And you should also be able to find Holiday Love, which is my seasonal and non-seasonal pick me up song about our holiday spirit and such. Good one.
All right, one more time, will you tell them what different technologies you were using at the start here?
Certainly, certainly. Again, the infrared head mouse. That little, it's not a camera. Everybody thinks it's a camera. It's not a camera. It sends out like a infrared wall, and there's a dot, a reflective dot that we use. That is just a sticky dot. You put it on the glasses, on your forehead, on your cap. In this case, on my shield, because we are practicing all kinds of safety measures. And this time, we need to practice all kinds of safety measures. But yes, the reflective dot again allows me to move the cursor. The sip and puff uh, device allows me to left click and right click and such. And there you're in and out of any kind of software. We have things like you'll see things over here like the magic flute that we use that creates all kind of various sounds and interacts with software to generators and sound generators. And we can create, again, someone that can't necessarily use their hands to um, express their musical ideas. We find ways, again, help us find ways to express our musical ideas and our thoughts and our poetry and our spoken word and whatever it is that we can use this technology for.
All right, I'm going to ask you one more question, putting you on the spot a little bit, but if you could summarize what you want someone watching this presentation to take away, what would you say in one or two sentences?
Oh, wow. Take away. Well, I would say for anybody, um, is now handicapped, is handy capable here, and that's only if you can find a way to concentrate on what you can do, and you won't have as much time to worry about what you can't do. There's always a way. You know? Worry about what you can do. Worry about what you can
Thanks, Alan. And again, that's Allan Floyd, ALLAN FLOYD. Look him up, guys.
do. Spotify.
Exactly.
I'm out there somewhere. I'll get you more.
Al Boogie. So now we're going to be able to hear Al's music. We're actually going back down the hall. Waiting on Al. Al, Anna, and Miles are going to go into the soundstage area where we already have instruments and DJ equipment set up. We actually have a lot of group sessions in the soundstage. It's a garage, but we call it the soundstage because that is where a lot of performances are performed, and group sessions, socialization. This is kind of like the meeting area where we just kind of kick back, relax. We have freestyle sessions. We have listening parties here. And we lately, since the COVID, we've been having group sessions, but they've been virtual. And you can find those group sessions. Some of them we've been using, I think, Zoom. You can see them on the DMAN Foundation Facebook page. That banner right there, it's beautiful. Great setup. As we're just waiting for Allan to come into the sound stage to get set up. One of the great things about this foundation is connection through music. So sometimes people that have been part of the DMAN were not even music artists. But it was through music is how we connected, and they were able to make music and have some really great friendship, not just friendship, but family. We also focus on another thing called assisted travel, but this is what we're talking about today, is the music there at the therapy studio. I don't know if Allan's giving me the cue that he's ready. Ready to roll?
Right there.
Look closer. You got the shield, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's a little difficult with the shield, but we do what we can do.
I'm feeling
Take it away, Al Boogie.
All right, here we go.
little bit out for your head. I want you to know I can hear it, I can hear it, and I can hear it. That's what I got to say. Man is on his way. I keep on reaching, keep on reaching, keep on reaching. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Al. Well, you already heard Al Boogie.
I like this effect.
I know that we talk about that this is the DMAN Foundation, but the DMAN Foundation is more than just a foundation. It's a family. And whether you're a artist, a board member, a committee member, music therapist, engineer, producer, or volunteer, we all come together as a family and we treat each other as family. And we eat together, we laugh together, we cry together, and we do it all through the communication of music. And we're really happy that we were able to show our family on a global stage today. We're really happy, and thank you, Campus Party, for having us. Would love to open it up for any questions.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that tour. Thank you for the words of inspiration. And thank you for the performance as well. We do have a few questions that have come in. What are the biggest hurdles in getting people music therapy treatment?
Want me to take that? The biggest hurdles of getting people with music therapy treatment? Well, one, they have to know about that it's available. The other thing is, like, some of the people, people are isolated. So maybe they're like in their room and they don't go anywhere. So maybe they need transportation, accessible transportation. Maybe they need a wheelchair because they're not even able to get out of bed. So there's different barriers depending on the person. You could, give the worst case scenario where a person would just not go anywhere. So you have to have accessible transportation. They have to have a mobile device, so that, like a wheelchair or an Amigo, to be able to get to, the transportation. The other thing could be cost. Some stuff is covered under insurance, some stuff isn't. So that's where we raise money for studio hours. So you'll see, like, every year, you'll see on the website or around Christmas time, people donate money to the DMAN Foundation to provide studio hours for people that are not insured, so that they are able to also get music therapy. Those are some of the barriers. Of course, right now with COVID, it's very challenging having so many people in the building. I would say those are the main ones. Anybody else want to add to that? Anna, Miles, Allan?
Okay, so we do have another question. What other technology and resources would be valuable for an organization like DMAN that you don't already have?
Allan, you want to answer that? Oh, his microphone's muted. Wow, that would be any technology that's going to help with mobile apps. maybe it's mobile apps and website for it to be accessible. Whether the person's using their eyes, their mouth, their breath, their limbs, whatever they're able to move to make music, produce music, and to be able to develop maybe a music landing page. The technology, I mean, it's there, but we can keep getting it more advanced and more efficient. So I would say work on like what's out there, but then making it more efficient, because voice recognition, not exactly efficient. You know, I use voice recognition because I'm paralyzed from the neck down. I'm controlling everything right now with my voice. But sometimes it picks up the wrong commands. It thinks I said this, I didn't say that. I would definitely say efficiency on some of the technology that's out there, making it better. And then when you're designing things like technology, think about people that are not able to move their arms and legs, not able to see, not able to hear. When you're designing it, and then how can you design something to where someone can use that technology, the assistive technology, to make music? Because there are people that we have someone that's blind and he's in there making music, and there's equipment. So we try to find all the equipment possible for the person's ability so that they can make music and perform. So
Great. Now, Allan shared with us that we could find him on Spotify, and also he made reference to his Facebook page. But where can we listen to music made by DMAN clients?
I think some of it's available on Apple, if I remember right, Apple iTunes, but possibly the website, mydman.org, the DMAN Facebook page. There's also the album. I think they're on, I don't know if we're on like a third or fourth that's been made, and I think that's on, that you can download that on Apple, if I remember right. That's like a multiple, that's collaboration. There's been a lot of collaboration projects with all the artists, and any artist that comes through DMAN, they're all called All-Stars. So when the project comes out, it's called the DMAN All-Star Volume 1 or Volume 2. So you want to look for that, DMAN All-Stars, DMAN All-Stars.
Great. And it looks like we have time for one more question. Who can benefit from music therapy?
Anybody. Anybody. I mean, you don't have to have a disability to benefit from music therapy. Music is a communication language that breaks down all barriers. I mean, there's people that may not ever get along with each other, but somehow through the power of music, they learn how to communicate with each other. And when you communicate and when you're doing something fun, it's therapeutic. You know, when you go in the vocal booth, that is therapy. You know, you're putting your thoughts, you're putting your emotions, you're putting everything down on audio, and you're able to like almost like cleanse yourself of whatever's in your head, and then being able to share like what your life is like, what the world's like to you, how do you view it, and share with other people. So I would say anybody can receive music therapy. They would benefit from music therapy.
Well, you are certainly correct. There is power in music, and music does bring people together. And I'm glad that it has brought us together with DMAN Foundation. I know that I'm speaking for everyone watching, that this truly has been an inspiration. We certainly appreciate Eric, Allan, Anna, Miles, and the DMAN Foundation for this inspiring presentation and tour of your studios today.
Yeah, thank you for having us. And please look up the website, mydman.org, and come and visit. Make a phone call and come take a tour of the DMAN Foundation studio and come work with us. Help us get better. help us to be able to create better music, help us to be able to find the assistive technology. Let's have a nice discussion, a dialogue, and figure out where can we go with technology that'll just make it better, better, and better.
Thank you all so much.
Take care. Thank you.
Police released dash cam video of fatal crash involving self-driving car.
The drastic changes in our